Previously on the flats.
Penises! Penises!
The first step is the hardest. An expression that dates back to Saint Denis of Paris when, after being declared an infidel by the church, a headless Denny plucked his errant noggin off the ground and proceeded to march 3 miles sans cerebellum. And while it's generally considered a poor taste to kick a craniumless man while he's down, the absurdity of such an assertion demands no less than a boot to the backside. For as any toddler desperate to impress a doting parent can attest to, the first step is all adrenaline. But the second step requires something the first never dreamt of. Direction. And direction doesn't give a piddle-soaked nappy about Mummy's unconditional love. Qui est le grand garçon? Qui est le grand garçon?
Grand garçon.
Oh, oh.
Grand garçon.
Penises. Penises.
Luckily for our heroes, sometimes the second step isn't a step at all.
The Tiddly Tortoise? Ye old fighting cocks? Ooh, mimosas.
And how exactly do any of these bars
Artisanal brew pubs and bruncheries.
help our current predicament? And if you say 2 for 1 mimosas and half-price deviled eggs, so help me God. Maybe we're looking at this the wrong way.
Mimosaless?
Instead of focusing on the where, maybe we should be concentrating on the who. But who'd ever dream up something like this?
Jim and Jay. Of Jim and Jay's Crafting Emporium? Conveniently located off Exit 34 in West Covina? Jim and Jay, your crafting needs, night or day. We put the aft in craft.
I was thinking bigger.
Bigger than the aft in craft.
Something like this would require both means and resources. We're talking someone of power, of influence and reach.
Someone like Big Button.
Hey,
If you think Big B's just gonna sit around and watch the likes of Velcro Co. and the Zipper Consortium chip away at their profit margins, then you, sir, know nothing about Big B. Talk about a vindictive bunch. They make the Drawstring Syndicate look like a cup of day-old ramen, and try keeping your board shorts in place with soggy udon. Speaking of inevitable catastrophes.
you.
Sorry. You'll have to excuse my friend over here. While his bedside manner is admittedly atrocious, he less than makes up for it with his constant complaining
What do you want?
and general surliness. Brady Swarthmore. Delighted.
Lana Reeves, my roommate Peyton. And that's Doris. She's how we tracked you down.
Desperate much?
And why exactly would you need to track us down?
I'm not sure. Yesterday at the cafe, when you asked if I had always been like this, what did you mean?
No. I'm not falling for that again. I've had my fill of humiliation for 1 week, thank you very much.
I'm not here to humiliate you.
Yeah. Yeah? Okay. 48 hours ago, the world and everything in it was transformed into some crudely constructed comic strip, and apparently the only ones who have any recollection of the past are me and Brady.
It's just when you say it out loud.
Sorry.
Clearly. Well, this has been delightful. Next time the old confidence gets too high, I'll be sure to give you a call.
Wait. I think I believe you. Peyton found it under her bed.
What is it?
It's called a photograph.
Not the picture, dum-dum. Those thingies in the picture?
This is what you meant, isn't it? About transformation? This is gonna sound insane, but I just can't shake the feeling. I think that's us.
Gross.
And while that doesn't mean I'm ready to admit you're right, I'm at least ready to explore the possibilities. So what's the plan?
Depends on how you feel about deviled eggs.
We're working on it.
What is it, Dee?
Maybe she has to go to the bathroom? On a related note, how do we go to the bathroom? Because the last time I went 48 hours without a yumper was Queso Fest 2016. And we all know how that ended. Not good. Next to the cancellation of Felicity, it was one of my worst days. And why does cheese act like a cork in your intestines?
Hey!
I think it's a rebus.
A what bus?
A word puzzle. Each object represents a sound. Combine the sounds to decipher the clue. A paddle? Maybe an oar?
Mixing? Whisking?
Ham?
Meet or beat? Meet or beat? The Korean game show? It's only like the 4th highest rated cooking competition in all of North Chola. Or is it South Chola? I always get my cholas mixed up. Anyway, 3 contestants compete in a series of challenges involving ground beef and classic beet varietals. Mostly your deep reds and ruby queens.
What about the bow? You're an idiot.
Says the guy who's never heard of meat or beet.
Robo-hamster. Row, bow, ham, stir. Robo-hamster.
You mean to tell me there's an all-hamster version of RoboCop that I don't know about?
Roborovsky? As in the species? As in...
Madam Niblets, our pet hamster. Is that it, girl? Does Madam Niblets have something to do with all of this? It's crazy, I know.
I wouldn't say crazy. Sure, your 20s are a scoosh old for a rodent.
But what about any of this isn't crazy?
Guess we're headed to your place.
This reminds me of an episode of The Veganator. Challenger Chansu had a shot at 50,000 won. All he had to do was consume an entire Cornish game hen. Thing is, Chansu had never eaten meat before, given his body's inability to digest animal protein.
And so, under the direction of the unlikeliest of tour guides, en route to the most inexplicable of destinations, our fearless foursome took their second and inarguably most important step. 4 adults and a domesticated chickadee off to see a pet hamster about the fall of humanity. What harm could possibly come of that?